Welcome to Dubai Real Estate Unplugged, brought to you by the team here at House Real Estate. I'm Luke Remington, Managing Director for the House Group, and today we're going to be talking Dubai Hills Estate, a very popular expat community here in Dubai. And today I'm joined by two Dubai Hills Estate team players, manager Ben Greenwood. Hi Ben.
Hi everyone, I'm Ben Greenwood and I am the sales manager for Dubai Hills Estates.
Laura Davis.
Hi, I'm Laura Davis and I'm a property consultant in Dubai Hills.
You've actually got quite different backgrounds, so why don't we delve into that? Ben, quick summary about you, because you're an ex-military man.
I am indeed, yeah.
So it's
I
actually
spent 9 years in the RAF, Royal Air Force, back in the UK. I was an aircraft engineer, so working on all of the engines and the airframes. And that was absolutely fantastic. But after a quick 9 years, decided to make the move over here. And haven't looked back since. It's been fantastic.
It's strange to go from, I don't know if I know many people that have gone from military to real estate.
No, not many people have. But what I'd say is that there is probably quite a few things that you learn in the military that actually can sort of like cross over quite well to what we do here. Certainly being regimented in the way that you go about things, following up with people, which are obviously key components of this job. And I think that they work really well, and it's allowed me to obviously progress pretty well, I'd say, in the short 2 years that I've been here.
Interesting. So you think a lot of the training that you've had in the military has helped you?
Yeah, absolutely.
The success you are today.
It was great when I came here. Obviously, I had no background in real estate, right? And people come here from doing it from the UK, and that's totally fine. But for me, I didn't know anything. Yeah. So when we were going through the sales training, it was super easy for me because it was just like a sponge, you know, just absorbing all of this information. And I'd speak to Charlie and he'd say, right, go out, make this phone call, speak to this client, whatever. All right, I've done that. Now what do I do? Go ahead and do this. Okay, I've done that. Now what do I do? Go ahead and do this. And then suddenly I just stopped asking questions because it all just came after that. But being really inquisitive, understanding the process, and then just following that process was really easy for me to do.
It's quite interesting, so I'm just going to keep on this. But when you say about kind of listening and then basically following those instructions, what would a buyer expect then if they speak to you? Are they going to expect you to be asking them questions, you to be listening and then helping them? So sometimes you get to speak to buyers and they're like, stop asking me a million questions. Just show me properties. They get a bit frustrated about it. Stop interrogating me. Yeah. Is this the way you perform? Is it questions?
We can't give away all of the trade secrets, mate. But yeah, no, it's always good to find out as much as you can about the clients. I understand that people are quite reserved in their nature. You have to build up a rapport and then a level of trust for them to open up in order to give you some of this information. Actually, we need, but ultimately, the information that we get is used to help them, not used against them in any way. Do you know what I mean?
But isn't it that old cliche where you kind of, I want this, but they then try and sell me this. So I go into the car garage and I want this litre engine, I want these colour, this wheels, and they're like, well, they offer you something completely different.
Yeah, I mean, it can be, but check the reviews, mate. No one seems to be dissatisfied with the service so far.
Yeah, no, you do extremely well. You do extremely well. Laura Davis, again, you come from a different background. Tell me a bit about you.
Yeah, could have been more opposite to real estate. I think the only thing in common is the sunshine.
Okay.
I did 6 years overseas working for some of the biggest tour operators in Europe, Thomas Cook and TUI, which I'm sure a lot of our listeners from the UK are familiar with. Consisted of in resorts, both beach and ski resorts, looking after customers, ensuring they were having the time of their life, giving them all my knowledge and experience and top tips and everything like that to make sure they have a fantastic holiday, whether it's their billionth holiday or their first holiday. It was just as exciting for every guest to deal with. And then going into the sales side, booking them on the trips, so like a sunset cruise in Ibiza or a Jeep safari across Greece. And then that kind of level of, customer service, sales, being a part of their holiday journey is what I've transferred over to Dubai.
Do you see any similarities in the excitement someone would have about booking a cruise to buying a house or an apartment?
Do you know what? You do. So
really?
It's actually mad. So I used to have a little credit card machine, and I'd be around the hotel, and I'd book like, you know, Sue, John and Bob and everyone on this excursion. The same buzz is when I'm at a contract B or F. We're about to sign with all our special conditions in there. The buzz I got when I sold 5 boat trips is the same buzz I get selling a 5 million dirham villa.
So quickly go into that for the listeners. Contract B being a
agreement between the agent and the buyer.
Contract F being
the unified contract A and B, which so the A is the agreement between agent and seller, B being the buyer. Together they form the F, and then you're locked in, which means you've then bought the house.
So if anyone meets you at that stage, then they're going to see the Laura Davis with lots of bubble and excitement.
Literally, like I'm back in Mallorca.
Your team has performed exceptionally well. I know you actually went out recently. I think you went out and celebrated and had a night out.
Did.
You seem to have a really good culture. What's that brought, Ben? What have you seen? Is all the team members just really good at what they do? Is it part of you work in a really good area? Is it that you gel particularly well and, you know, like to mix with each other out of hours? What is it?
Yeah, I think a combination of everything that you've said there. We obviously work in a fantastic area. That goes without saying.
Do you work out of that area or just that area?
Yeah, I work all over. If our buyers' requirements are for them to go and view in Arabian Ranches, another email community, if they want to go and view in JGE, which is obviously a fantastic community also, then of course I will take them out there. Out
of interest, the areas out of those areas, kind of 90% Dubai Hills Estate, 10% elsewhere, or are you specialising in that area?
Yeah, I'd say when people come to Dubai Hills, that's where they predominantly want to be.
Yeah.
They might have started their search in a different community.
Yeah.
But as soon as they land in Dubai Hills, they're pretty dead set. So a lot of the work in that aspect is done for us by the community.
Yeah.
You know, it offers such fantastic facilities and all of that kind of stuff that when people get there, they're just like, okay, yeah, this is it. Now I want to be here,
right.
And I'm really focused on my search being in Dubai Hills. So yeah, I'd say 90% of the work that we do is in Dubai Hills. Okay. But of course, it's always good to get out and look at the different communities because your buyers are definitely doing it.
Yeah.
So you know, if you don't know that a 3-bed in Sidra is comparable to a 3-bed in Sahil, but your buyer knows that, then there's a real disconnect there.
Yeah.
You know. You have to understand what cross-sells and what works well. If this option doesn't work, like, okay, what can we offer you in a different community that might work for you? And it goes back to what you're saying about maybe with the car, like a different paint colour or whatever. But you see it all the time, you know. People often think that they want something. I'm the same, you know. I often think that I want something and then I get offered something which is similar, but it provides me ultimately with more. And therefore, I would go for that because it works and it suits my needs better.
So are people sold to in Dubai Hills? Do you have to make an effort to sell to people, or do they, I want Dubai Hills Estate, I know what I want, you know, and this is fantastic because of, you know, XYZ facilities, why you love it. So do you have to sell it as hard as other communities?
I would say a lot of our buyers who are coming into Dubai Hills Estate know the area because they've got friends there. Dubai Hills is in it's on social media as a fantastic community. EMAR heavily promote it as the green heart of Dubai. So if you Google green heart of Dubai, Dubai Hills will come up.
Nice.
And I think a lot of buyers have got friends in the community, as I say, so they'll be looking in maybe the suburbs of like Sidra, Maple, or they might be looking in the apartments. So I think once the buyer, we delve into their needs and what's important to them by highlighting 3 of their things that's important to them, getting the right house and the right type, the layout, location and price is pretty straightforward from that point because they've already got an idea of what they want. Going back to the car thing, if we as a broker feel that what they want isn't quite working out in Dubai Hills, then my favourite part of the job is going off to Damac Hills, Arabian Ranches, JGE, to find the right house for them in those areas. And I think that's what House and House do very, very well.
Listen. Is that what we do? We listen?
Yeah, it's part of our values, right?
Yeah, of course.
And it is instilled every monthly meeting, we have it.
Yeah.
And it is totally instilled in you. And again, coming from the military, we had core values there, the RISE principles, and there are the core values that are within this company, which resonate throughout everyone.
I think that's
and
actually
I think
the
we
award.
represent them really well.
Yeah, isn't that the award for next month?
Yeah,
it is. We listen and we learn.
Indeed.
And voting ends today, I think.
Is it? We'll have to give you some votes then.
Votes
So are you biased towards Dubai Hills Estate? So let's say that someone's saying, look, Laura, this isn't for me. You know, I just don't like this or this. And, you know, maybe my sister doesn't live down the road, so show me around. Are you like, well, are you sure you want to go around? Why don't you just stay here?
Again, it comes down to like, why are we in Dubai Hills in the first place? So why have you picked this community? It can be down to like the kids go to King's College, which is on Sakim down the road. It could be dad's got a membership at the golf club. It could be that the style of the house, like not forgetting Sidra and Maple are pretty unique styles in Dubai. There's no other community with this modern-esque and everything touch like that. So again, I think you've got to ask the buyer why are we here in the first place. A massive part of our job is you've got to be honest. So if they're saying, oh yeah, well I'll take this 3-bed townhouse, but you can envisage that they're going to outgrow it, or you know, you've got to really you can't just because you've got the listing, or I'm a big believer in Dubai Hills, that I would force them to buy it just because we're there. And then it's all about matching the right home. And again, what's important for them, what they plan to do with the house. If their heart is set on Dubai Hills, we will find the solution. There's 8 of us in the team. That's an easy buyer. That's an easy task.
Yeah.
If you've got a buyer who is heart set on Dubai Hills, but you know as a broker, you know from your knowledge that this house isn't going to work for them, you've got to have that chat. And I think that's better to have that chat, because in the end, that client will come back in a year or 2.
Those chats that you have about Dubai Hills Estate, and bearing in mind there's 8 of you, what words or emotions would you know, if I come up to you and say, well, tell me about Dubai Hills Estate, just why should I buy here? What would you be saying? I know you've touched on, I think you mentioned about the King's College. Was it a hospital or
the
school?
So the King's School, the King's School, King's College.
My kids go to
hospital.
King's School, actually.
Oh, do they? There we go.
Yeah, well, I
do you like
remember.
the house in Dubai Hills?
No, it is. It's a great school. It's a great school. It's a great school. But it's not the only school in Dubai.
No, you've got Gems International at Al Khail.
Okay.
Which has direct access into Dubai Hills, which a lot of people don't know that. They think you have to take Al Khail Road.
So there's a couple of accesses in Dubai Hills Estate.
There is. And then you've got Safra at the end of Sakim, and then across the road in Barsha, you've got Brighton College, Gem Founders.
What would the time, you're talking these things, what would time distance be to these kind of different points that you're suggesting? 5-10 minutes, half an hour?
Depend literally where you are in the community.
Okay.
You're in Maple 1, you're closest to King's.
Okay.
If you're in Sidra 1, you're closest to Gems Founders.
Okay.
If you're in Club Villas, you're closest to Gems International.
Words, emotions. You're probably the person to give me this. Laura, go on.
I would say it's it's a stylish place to live.
Stylish,
chic.
chic.
Dubai Hills is a brand. It
really
will be
is.
10 years it will be a postcode. It'll be like, you know, if you've watched Selling Sunset and they go on about these postcodes like Beverly Hills and whatever, Dubai Hills, when the desert is full, it'll be that.
It just sounds right.
Yeah. People say, oh,
you know, I live in Dubai Hills.
Yeah. People call it the hills, and if you're from
just don't put estate on the end of it. It should be just Dubai Hills, right? It does sound a lot more glamorous.
No one will ever give it its full title, or its full name.
Dubai Hills.
Yeah.
I live in Dubai Hills. Like you say that to people, and there's just something about that's
Beverly Hills.
Like really cool,
literally.
you know? Whether it comes from that or not, like it doesn't really matter where it comes from, right?
Yeah. But people love it.
It has this like air around it where when you say I live in Dubai Hills, people are like, firstly, I know exactly where that is.
Yeah.
I've been there.
Which is actually surprising, considering it's not that it's established, but it's not been
it's not been around long.
No. So for everyone to know about it says a lot about the community,
Exactly.
right?
Astronomical rise.
Yeah.
Like it has just taken off.
Yeah.
People didn't believe in it. Absolutely. Like you can say that as a matter of fact. When these launched originally with EMAR.
When would that have been?
2018 people buying
right.
these sort of off-plan, 2017, 2018, and then further on for some of the other releases that have come later down the line. it was just a big patch of sand,
Yeah.
you know, and people were driving past it, going to Arabian Ranches.
Yeah.
They're driving past it, over on Sakim, look to the left, nothing. Absolutely nothing, just this huge patch of sand. And over the past few years, handover came.
Yeah.
People were like, okay, this place is nice, but it's not very mature. It's not very green, even though now it's titled the Green Heart of Dubai. It wasn't. It was still under, you know, progress, and it needed to mature a bit. But you walk through these communities, you walk through Sidra overnight, and it's stunning, man. It's all lit up, tree lined, the walking paths. There's a however many kilometre long walking trail that goes through Sidra 1 and 2, which is just beautiful. People taking the dogs out. They've got the dog park in the main park, which is the biggest residential park in Dubai, like as a community.
Oh wow, I didn't know that.
So we host that, which is obviously fantastic. Has a water park down the bottom, which a lot of people don't know about. 50 dirhams, I think, to get in.
I think Simon took his kids there recently,
Mate, it's just great, you know.
Shopping mall?
Shopping mall, of course. Opened a year ago.
Yeah.
Which is impressive.
I vote it the best mall. Not
you
just
would,
it's in
you
Dubai
two
Hills.
would, you would, two would.
No, but it's got a certain.
Let's be real about this. People aren't going to. You're selling it too much. Like, do you really think it's the best mall?
Yeah, it's peaceful. It's spacious. Parking's easy. Access is easy.
Yeah.
It's not hectic.
Yeah, it has everything that you would need from a mall, really, and anything else that you don't need. You can obviously fight everyone in Dubai Mall while you're trying to walk through it.
So, how many properties in Dubai Hill Estate?
Christ.
6,000,
including
apartments.
And growing.
Yes.
Isn't it?
Yes.
Isn't it big? Isn't it a bit big?
No.
Wouldn't you be like, there's just too many people, there's too much traffic?
No.
No.
Because every community has its own charm.
Okay.
And it has its own, like, you can pick to live on the park in Mulberry and be involved in that. You can pick to live in Sidra 3, the smallest of the Sidras, with like just over 300 villas. You can pick where you live in this community.
So you quickly went over that, but what would you be looking at? You've got to buy, there are apartments there, and there are houses there. There are townhouses there. There are standalone there. So there is a variety of everything.
There is.
Entry point, price.
To purchase an apartment?
Yeah.
To get the smallest one collective. I'm sure you own one, don't you, Luke?
Yeah, I do.
There we go.
Yeah, I bought that at the right time.
A bit more than what you paid, I'm sure, now.
Yeah. No, that was...
950,000.
I forecasted the market quite well at that stage. That was really in the height of COVID.
Yeah.
So, sorry, say again?
About 950,000.
Entry now?
Yeah.
Okay. And if I want a villa?
A villa, if you're looking at a gorgeous 3-bed Sidra, around the 5 million plus mark.
Okay. Going up to, Ben, I think you've done some quite hefty sales there.
Yeah, we've had some
Lofty.
great sales, you know. We've had golf course facing units selling for just short of 35. We've done plenty of viewings on properties that range up to 200 million. 208 is the highest that's sold. Completely fully upgraded, one of the most beautiful villas that we've ever seen.
208 million.
208, yeah, 208.
And that was in the last year?
Yeah, that was in the last year, yeah.
So that probably makes a huge difference to people that are buying there as well, right? They want to be amongst that. They want to be mixing with people that have got Rolls Royces outside their driveways and, you know.
One little community that I really actually love is Golf Grove. It's this twin townhouse community right at the back of Dubai Hills, but your drive to it is outstanding. You drive through fairway vistas, one way, or you can drive up through Golf Place and around. It's just outstanding, you know. On your way to your home, you're driving past all of these villas, which are 25 plus, you know. What a fantastic drive.
25 million plus,
yeah.
Right, okay, which, it's going to be kind of 5 million plus pounds.
Yeah, over 5 million quid.
Yeah.
And that's like, I mean, what a wonderful piece of motivation every day when you're driving past one of these villas, hopefully visualising the fact that you'll be making the move there one day, you know.
I didn't buy one of those, but even for the apartments in Collective, they are great, and it's not just kind of first-time buyers or, you know, you could have a couple living there, you know, you could have a small family, or you could even, I think with the visa schemes that have changed, you've got a lot of people working from them now.
Yeah.
What do they offer? Do they offer, who are you seeing buying these properties?
The collectives, they range from, like you said, like first-time buyers, young young professionals who have worked hard in Dubai or other parts of the world and are able to mortgage or even pay with these properties with cash.
Yeah.
Investors alike, I would say, are around 70-80% of the homeowners there, because the short-term market there is phenomenal. Even though Dubai Hills, it probably doesn't even cross people's minds as a holiday destination. Yeah. If you go on House and House holidays and you look on there and see the options and everything that they offer, the short term is phenomenal there, which has got humongous amounts of benefits for both the owner and the tenant.
So if I meet you guys, I meet you at a barbecue one day and I describe my perfect property, we all see in the news that maybe there's a shortage and we're seeing these prices being broken every week. Mm-hmm. You're mentioning these astronomical figures, Ben. Can you actually find what I want? You know, I'm not going to be saying sea view because I'm not going to be getting that probably in Dubai Hill Estate. But if I want something particular, am I going to find it? Because I see all these listings online, but then when I call them, they're not actually available. Can you find it?
I'd say as long as you're realistic in your approach, then 100% we will find you something.
Yeah. Is it going to be at that market price? Are sellers realistic? Or if I'm an owner in Dubai Hills Estate, you guys big it up. Well, I'm going to big it up even more than you guys because I believe in it. You know, I bought there. Yeah. So am I realistic?
You can't big it up that much if you're selling, right?
Well, if I'm selling it, I just want the highest price, which most sellers do at the moment. Yeah. So
but that's the same anywhere.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like I said before, everyone that owns in the community, whatever community they own in, whether it's the Palm, the Marina, JG, Ranches, you name it, JP, even JVT villas.
Yeah.
Anyone that owns there wants the highest price they can get for that because this market has been providing that for the past 2 years.
Yeah, but what sellers are hearing in Dubai Hill Estate is everyone knows it. Yeah. Everyone's talking about it. So they feel that, I think it was actually maybe second or third most transactions.
On what's on Dubai was that?
Yeah, for what amount of transactions that took place. So I think maybe it was after that.
Not surprising at
all.
Yeah.
So a seller's just pushing them up because of that. Is there any more growth? Am I going to still buy, or shall I say, go on, Laura, you used to do leasing, take me back to a rental? As we talk at this stage, you know, we're talking Q1 2023.
So I'd just say about the sellers, do they want to sell? They're getting these mad prices. Again, you've got as an agent, we will find the reason for their selling. Like these, just because they have astronomical prices in these, Beverly Hills of Dubai, doesn't mean they're normal people who need to downsize, upsize, maybe leave the country and things like that. So you've got to find these sellers, and then part of our job is to find out what's motivating them, get our buyer involved, and then marry it up. And that's kind of how you've got to do it. So like Ben said, these prices are high, but it's happening in every community. You've just got to be a good agent and find out why this seller wants to sell, and then getting the 3 things that are important to this buyer, and then marrying it up. And that's a huge benefit of our team. There's 8 of us. Yeah. So, okay, I get a lead for this buyer. Maybe I don't have what they have. I guarantee in our team, we've got what they want. Yeah.
Well, it helps when you work with such good colleagues, right? And you all believe in what everyone does. If someone can find that property.
For sure.
Ben, if I'm buying at the moment, and I think Laura touched you, probably about 80% are investors. Do you find many people saying, Ben, it has to have a certain return on investment? I need to be hitting 6, 7, 8, 9%, or I just want to get the collateral growth because it's still going to grow. I actually firmly believe, and I'm not just saying this as a real estate business owner, that Dubai offers extremely good value for money. So although the prices are high now, that's because we saw what they were 2, 3, 4 years ago where it was a downturn. But you compare to other global cities, and I think Dubai is rocketing in where it is going. It's got a lot of growth to come. We've got huge amounts of people coming in, and we don't have many properties. So it still does offer really good value for money in my mind. Are you finding, Ben, that are they talking about ROI, or are they just after kind of...
I mean, any investor will always talk about ROI.
Yeah.
of course that's part of what their investment is, but that's not everything.
Yeah.
If something is priced under market but it's rented low, would you take it? Because you're immediately going to get capital appreciation if it goes back to market level. Of course you would, and you should do.
But if I bought 2 years or 3 years ago and I put a tenant in there, we know that the rents have grown massively.
Yeah.
So we now know the prices have grown massively. So I've still got a tenant paying a low amount of rent because I can only put it up with a calculator that hasn't been updated for a couple of years. So, but I now know the value is so much higher. So actually, the ROI in today's term actually has gone down. But are sellers sitting on them and saying, "Well, I don't really care. It's up and coming and it's got more growth."
Yeah, I would say half and half.
A lot of sellers are sitting on them and saying, "We'll keep it because the property price itself has moved so much." Yes, the rental price has moved, but of course that just happens every year.
Yeah.
Like if we're now talking about, I've made 2 million dirhams on my purchase price, I'm happy to have a tenant in there at 200k. Because if I make another 1 million, 2 million, that's so much more than me trying to evict them and doing whatever. So it really depends on the type of person. Yeah. Not every investor is the same.
No, of course
They all have different opinions on what they believe investing is. And again, having a team of 8, it allows us to marry ourselves up and align ourselves with different types of investors. You know, one of them might prefer my style and the way that I work, and another one might prefer Laura's style and the way that Laura works. But having 8 different people with different strategies, mindsets, and the way that they go about their business, it really helps us to capture the whole market. And there's so much more coming. There's so much more coming.
Is there? So what is coming? What have we got to see? I know it's obviously you can only go off what the developers are actually releasing, and there's probably a lot of hearsay out there about potentially what they're going to. But is it maxing out if we say we're at kind of 6,000 villas or
no way?
There's more.
There's a lot of patch of sand out there. If you look at the Dubai Hills model, at one of the email sales centres, you'll see some of it has not yet been launched or construction, or we don't even know about it. They're probably having a chat right now as we speak for the next launch. But right now there's a lot of cranes in Dubai Hills, which is very, very exciting, as property brokers and people who are living there and people who are planning to buy there, because it means the community's still growing, things are changing, and there's about 6 buildings at the moment being built, and then the very famous Address Villas, which I cannot wait
Isn't that the first Address Villas?
First Address Villa community. With the whole, concierge finish, very, very exclusive, right in the middle of Dubai Hills, consisting of around 140 villas, starting at around 25 million dirhams.
Golf course views?
They're not. They're going to have their own lagoon, which will be a first in Dubai Hills.
Okay, so we can have a water view if we want then in Dubai Hills to stay now.
So if you are a palm buyer, you might be turning your head.
You ask, an email will answer. And it's very strange as well. You sit there and say, listen, Ben, Laura, you guys work in Dubai Hills. You're obviously biased towards it. Yeah. Well, hang on. Surely the biggest certification stamp is the fact that Emaar could have put Address Villas anywhere they wanted, because they have so many communities in which to do so.
Yeah,
they've chosen Dubai Hills Estate to be that flagship for that brand launch, for this whole new type of thing that they've never done before. Surely that in itself says something that we probably can't.
Of course. Where you up against if someone doesn't want Dubai Hills Estate and just says, "Look, it's not working for me, or I can't find what I want." What's the other choice? What's if the one that you're like, I knew they were going to say that. Take me to...
Well, we're blessed that Dubai has some of the best golf courses in the world. So if they are looking for a villa with a golf course view with a certain price budget, and we're a stunning club villa, and for example, the built-up area isn't working, then off we go to Jumeirah Golf Estates, Arabian Ranches. Again, depending on their budget, what's important for them. If they're currently dealing with a problem with their house, how do we solve it with the next purchase? So even though Dubai Hills might not have what they want, Dubai certainly will offer it. And like I said, the cross-sell, although Dubai Hills is very unique in its location, its aura, its style, there are other houses out there that will cater for the buyer. Otherwise, you know, as a business, we wouldn't make, you know, in Dubai Hills, like some of my best sales, my best buyers, my most, you know, proud moments have been selling villas in other communities. So you've got to, okay, you can be biased in your area and you can sell it to your heart's content, but at the end of the day, it's going to be their purchase. So there's always something else out there if Dubai Hills doesn't fit the bill.
I think for me, the biggest, or one of the biggest talking points with Dubai Hills is the size.
In a positive or negative way?
In a negative way.
Okay.
You know, some people are saying that they're a little bit too small. 3,000 square foot, 3,100 square foot for a 3-bed independent.
Oh, sorry, I thought you were on about size in terms of the amount of villas or properties.
No.
Okay,
the
so
size
actually,
of the villa itself.
Yeah.
Okay.
But the way that they're designed, especially if you look at Sidra, it's very cubic in its design. Yeah. It can be adapted, it can be extended, it can be increased, and you can do so much with it. It's almost like Lego blocks. You can add bits on the side. You can do basically
so
whatever
people
you
can
like with it.
They can extend
Absolutely.
them.
Yes.
Okay.
And for me, one of the most exciting things, if we talk about what's coming in the future, of course, the address villas, Lamborghini villas, villas designed by Ali Saab. We have all of that. But one thing that I'm actually looking forward to is seeing a real differentiation in the villas. You know, selling villas that are fully upgraded. Yeah. People who've come in, they've made their place a home for however long they've been in there, 2, 3, 4, 5 years, and then look to sell because they're either relocating or doing whatever. Like, the reason doesn't necessarily matter too much, but we'll have this real, actual, like, gauge in the market as to where, because the seller says now, I want 5.5, whatever. But if we look at Arabian Ranches, for example, very old community in comparison, but with that age comes a real depth of properties and what has been done to it. You know, people have completely changed it around. They've turned a 3-bedroom into a 5-bedroom. They've done, you know, Simon's doing work to his. You've obviously done work to yours there, and you're testament to that fact. So for me, to see what's going to happen over the course of the next 3, 4, 5 years, we've already got clients that we've sold to who have fully upgraded and they're living in there now. But because of the level of service that we provide and because of the core values that we always speak about, we know that they'll be selling through us in time. And that's great.
Do you find people are going into these brand new properties and feeling that the market's changed, the developer, he might do a fantastic job, but do you feel that they feel maybe the quality, building costs have gone up, maybe the kitchen isn't quite the quality it would have been if it was developed 10 years ago, and maybe a bit more, the developer has to sell the property a bit more, Dubai's not in that kind of crazy market. Are you finding at the moment people are saying, well, I'll buy it and then I'm going to rip out that kitchen they've supplied and spend a load more money putting something new in? Or do they have, is it too, for me, that would be a hard, like I'm buying something brand new. Why do I want, it's not what I want, but I'm just going to put up with it.
Yeah,
definitely.
People are. Yeah, they're doing that because they see it as a home for however long. And perhaps, and this has happened, people are in a rental already and they've got 8 months left on their tenancy contract, 10 months, almost a year, or they have the option to renew. If you're going to do the work, why not do it when you're living somewhere else and you have this time to do it? I wouldn't want to live in the house whilst all of this work was going on, or have to move out for 6 months whilst they do the work. So the finish itself is great as it is. Most people live in there, no problems, absolutely fine. But for those who are buying now with a view to stay there for 5-10 years and they have the time to do the work, I say, why not do the work now?
Okay.
And it makes sense to me. Yeah.
Also, like, we're in that house telling them what they can do to the house. And natural salespeople will say, and when you come to sell it, this is how much money you will make. So if you're buying a standard Sidra and a fully upgraded Sidra, the price difference is very, very clear, and it's a big difference.
What difference are you talking?
So if you got, for example, a 4-bed in Sidra, an E3 type, in the market today, bang average 6.25. If you got a fully upgraded one, and I'm talking hacker kitchen, swimming pool, Italian marble, like lights, the shebang, plants, whatever.
Shebang.
Bali vibes. Anything in the region of 7.5 up to 8 million is what it would sell for. So a lot of people who are looking in Dubai Hills are like, you know, they've got an eye for design. They're quite stylish themselves as well.
Yeah, I've seen a lot of people put them in magazines and
exactly.
interior designers living there,
exactly.
etc.
Hacker Kitchen feature a lot of Sidra kitchens in their social media. And Golf Place. I think Ben's had sold villas there. We've then gone on to put Hacker Kitchen in Golf Place. Yeah. Like that, they're the cream of the crop.
Yeah.
So yeah, people. I think again, you just say to the buyer though, like, how long do you plan on being in the UAE? Some people are like, this is going to be my home for 3 years. I plan to rent it out when I leave. Well, all you need is a lick of paint.
Yeah.
Is this your forever home? Yeah, I plan to be here 10 years. Yeah. You need to put some personality into it. Yeah. Are you here to make money? Yes, I am. Let's get it renovated. Yeah. So there's 3 different people who are going to move in.
Last question, and it's a question I think a lot of listeners or people interested in Dubai Hills Estate would probably be asking you.
Here we go.
Is there any growth left in it, you know, or am I just buying at the top of the market? Have you seen a slowdown since you came back from Christmas? We're 8 weeks on from that.
I mean, I wouldn't say so because our team had a record-breaking month last month.
Right, okay.
We sold
so January would record-breaking month.
Yeah, more than we as a team have done before.
Yeah.
So
makes
that
says a lot.
That speaks volumes. Of course, it could just be timing, it could be a variation of things, but with so much still to go there, you know, and we're talking about the villa communities, the plots that are there that people are going to be doing their own self-build creations on. There's a lot of room still. There really is. I do truly believe that. I don't think that anyone buying now is going to be disappointed in a year, 2 years, 3 years time.
And they're not kind of concerned about interest rates going up and...
Well, I mean, some people are only natural.
They are mentioning it.
Yeah, they've mentioned it.
Okay.
Yeah, only, like I say, only natural. You had people who bought 2 years ago that were locked in at 2.5%.
Yeah,
they're coming up for renewal.
Yeah,
and suddenly they're at 4.5%, 5%, and above. So it's definitely an issue on some people's finances. But your option otherwise is to go and rent somewhere for considerably more. Your finance and your monthly payments for buying, they do turn out to be less than what it would be on a monthly payment for a rental. And that is, completely factual.
Yeah.
Brilliant.
So there's a lot of room for growth. There's a lot of room for everything. And overall, it's just a wonderful place to be. Why would you not want to buy there?
Well, I'm sure if anyone's listening to this podcast and they're considering Dubai Hills Estate, I think you are both hugely enthusiastic about the development, rightly so. It is nice. It's got a lot to offer. And you're passionate about it and you've sold a lot of property there. I think what's really nice is you can actually you've both been doing it a considerably long time, and you can actually let buyers or tenants or whoever you speak to know, well, okay, you can do this or you can't do this, and you can actually, like what we say, we talk the truth and we walk the walk. So people will reach out, I'm sure. Thank you ever so much, Ben Greenwood, Laura Davis.
Thank you so much. It's been a pleasure. Thanks, everyone.